And so now that you're leading the Harvey Twisters, when you look at, day one of practice and you have kids coming in who don't know the names that we've talked about, do you guys do a little history lesson on the greatness they're walking into? Yeah.
Oh yeah. I sit them down and tell them I tell anybody the rich history, the rich history. And we got like the shirts, how we make our shirts up, all the names and what they've done is on the back with the years they won state. And if I got experience with those guys, I break them down to them. Just like with my kids, man, throughout the season periodically, or especially around state time, at the practice or before practice or at the tournaments, we bring it up and we huddle up and we get a break. Or when I got them working hard in practice just out of nowhere, I may scream out, tell them, everybody, 1, 2, 3, Steve Williams. I scream Steve Williams' name a lot, man. And a lot of kids be like, who is Steve Williams? And I sit them down and I break them down who Steve Williams is. I said, this is arguably the greatest twister that ever lived, man. He's not with us no more, but he's here with us in spirit. I said, but man, I don't let nobody forget that name, man. Nobody.
Legendary Twister wrestler, passed away in the early 2000s. I'll never forget hearing it. Freestyle tournament I was at.
Yeah, broke my heart, man. Broke my heart.
And that's a guy who, as you said, talent-wise, just off the charts, pinned his way through the state tournament and, had his demons as well. But, without him, there's no Joe, there's no TJ.
Man, without him, there's no Travis Hammons.
Wow.
I emulated certain things. He did, that mindset and that confidence, man. Just like you just said, pinned his way through the state tournament. One of those matches, he was down a lot of points. But you wouldn't know it watching the match because he was wrestling like he was winning. And his confidence never shook. So I got a lot from that guy too, man. Just that confidence and that mentality. Like, I don't care what you did or who you are, man. I'm Steve Williams.
Damn.
I'm Steve Williams. And that's how he was, man. And he took over. He was actually the one that was going to replace Quint, man. And I never forget those couple seasons he was coaching us, man. It was special, man. It was special.
So he was one of your youth coaches.
Yeah. Before he passed, he was one of our youth coaches, man. And I figured out that I had a mentality like that guy, so I gravitated to him. I used to spend the night at his house a lot. That dude had one of the fanciest trailer homes I ever seen, jacuzzi tubs and everything throughout it, man. Like I said, man, this makes sense, dude, because if you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it right. You Steve Williams. So I looked up to that guy, man. He was special to me, man.
He had
Very
jacuzzis
special.
in the trailer?
Yep, he was special. He's a special dude, man.
God.
And then he'd get on the basketball court. He had skills on the basketball court, man. He was just a special athlete.
How different was his personality from like Joe and TJ?
Joe and TJ is more quiet killers. They more laid back, play it in the cut outside of wrestling. Steve was passionate with wrestling and outside of it, outspoken, outgoing. The life of the party, man. Life of the party. Great guy, man. Great personality. Extremely passionate and a great personality, man. And get along with anybody. And I ain't just saying that. That's just. But Joe and TJ, from my history, man, more laid back. You probably have to bring the conversation to them. But with Steve, he gonna come start the conversation with you.
The confidence you must have with Steve Williams in your corner must be ridiculous.
Man, I felt like I could take on God if I had to, man. I'd take on Thanos if I had to. with him or Quint, man, I'm telling you, man, you can stack all odds against me. If I got those guys, that security blanket with them, man, it was special, man. It was special in the mindset, man.
Man, rest in peace to the great Steve Williams.
Absolutely.
So when you're looking at your role now, you're there, 100% to serve the kids, a selfless mission. How do you guys break down technique from day one? Are you going stance in motion? Are you going double legs? Like, how do you guys look at that?
Absolutely. Stance first. I mean, the Michael Jordan said it best, man. The minute the fundamentals go out the window is the minute, no matter how great you are, how talented you are, the minute you're going to fail. You can't skip steps in wrestling, and part-timers get part-time results. So stance in motion first. See which kid is flat-footed. See who's got some good feet or some good balance. See who's got some agility already. And then from there on, man, you start showing moves little by little and enhance their ability and their mentality and they technique, and the rest is history, man. But You know, it each one teach one, man. It take a collective, man. It just can't be one guy.
Because there's a ton of coaches in there too at any
Oh
given
yeah,
time, right?
oh yeah. But the main thing is just like any program empire, everybody got to be on the same page. Everybody got to be on the same page.
Do you guys allow parents in the room?
No, that's a distraction.
Wow.
That's a distraction. Because they're going to be, I mean, you know, parents, you got some that might not do it, but a lot of parents don't play favor with their kids, and that brings distraction. That brings distraction.
And then when you
And
guys
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just asking for the season. Do you guys do it like November through August still, where it's like a 10-month season, or do you just do an IKWF now?
When we go on, man, it's all year round. Ain't no breaks. Cause you got kids that play other sports. You got kids that only wrestle those. So ain't no breaks. We go from January to January.
Dang.
You know, we just kind of, you know, just like everybody got shell shocked and our world turned upside down because of COVID. So, but my history with the Twisters is year round, man. You know, there are times where you got 1 or 2 kids show up in the off season. That's fine. You get a lot done with that 1 or 2 kids. You don't need a full room all the time.
Are you guys going every day?
Yep. When we're rocking and rolling, absolutely.
That's why I can't wait for this season, man. Everyone's back. There's going to be kids at the tournaments. Twisters will be on a full schedule. You know, I just want to thank you for the time. And, you know, as you look ahead for your plans and some of your goals of coaching, what does that look like? Just giving to the kids as much as possible?
Man, I mean, like I teach the kids, man, I don't try to do nothing. If you trying, you failing, man. I look to do my best at all times, and I look to be the best possible version of myself at all times. So just going forward, I want to be better every time, better at coaching. When I first started coaching, I only knew one way, how I was taught. I had to learn balance, and I had to learn that this generation is a little different. You know, some kids need their ego stroked. Some need to be babied at first. Some need to be built up. Some you can be hard on and go just falls to the wall at all times. They respond well to it. But some you'll break like that right away. So you got to break. Each kid is different, man. And even back then it was, but we just weren't allowed to be weak. We weren't allowed to be soft mentally or just nothing. So I had to learn that, man, and it's made me better. And like I said, each kid ain't meant to be a state champ. Some kids probably just gonna qualify. Some might place, and some are meant to go all the way and just special red talents. Like the first kid that come to mind now is Nasir Bailey. He's a special talent. He reminds me a lot of myself. I've always told him that over the years. If he put the work in, man, it's like nobody could touch him, man. He like I was when I was wrestling. He'd be 2-3 moves ahead of his opponent. He see stuff coming. He set traps. He bait like I used to, and that's what made me great. I was never really stronger than nobody, but I was slick. I'm a very slick wrestler. I was faster and quicker than everybody, and my heart, my mentality, man, I refuse to lose. So, but with my coaching, man, I want each kid to know that I'm genuine, man. Whatever you're going through, you can come to Coach Travis, and these relationships ain't just about wrestling. It's bigger than that, and you got me the rest of your life and the rest of mine, man. And that's why I tell them all, their dads know it, their dads feel it. So a lot of stuff that go on with the kids, they bring me in on it, and it take us all, man. And I got a young boy, and I know as much as I'm be able to get through to him, I'm probably gonna need help myself. I'm not naive to that, so I'm just grateful, man. And it's a great thing. I love the process. I love everything that come along with it, the adversity, the good times, the bad, because it's all a part of it. It's all a part of growing and getting better, you know.
So you have a son as well?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 3 years old right now, and he give me a run for my money, man. He run me, man.
Dude, I'm 32, man. Every day my mom's calling me asking when it's gonna happen. So I'm thinking about it a lot these days. I'm just curious from a wrestler to a wrestler, how does a kid change your approach to coaching?
Well, he's been around it since he was a kid, and everybody got in their mind that I'm gonna make him wrestle. But this dude is 3 years old, going on 30, man. He holds full conversations with me. And like over the summer, he just told me, Daddy, I want to go outside and play soccer. He got us went ahead to buy a soccer ball, and we kicked the ball around. And when we had wrestling practice, just because he's around and he do his sprints with the guys, push-ups, he might go out there and shoot a shot, but I don't force him to do nothing yet. I work out at home. He do his pull-ups and dips and push-ups. When he get ready, I ain't forcing nothing on him yet. He only 3. But as he mature and the more and more, I'm watching him every day. I'm watching him grow. I'm watching him get better. Whatever he decides he want to do, I'm just going to make sure he's great at it, man. And I'm going to make sure he don't do what I did starting off wrestling and just relying on talent. Because talent only going to get you so far. As you level up, it's going to take more than that. It's going to take more than talent and your mindset. You're going to have to put the work in.
Man,
you're going to have to live up to that talent. You got to live up to that talent.
You talk about talent, and I don't know why, but for some reason it came into my head. When you were wrestling Duke Burke in the semis your senior year, you hit a misdirection, a 2 misdirection shot. And it's just like, man, I think of like just talent.
I call it a misdirect high C. So about that move, man, I created that move back in the day. Me and Timmy Spring sat around in off season as kids one day. And he was like, man, because Timmy was a state chandler. He was one of the guys I love. He grew up across the street from me. He was good at basketball, football, and of course, the wrestling stand out. And I looked up to that because I had that same capability. I was good at dribbling, and I could put a move on you and on the bound. On the football field, I could catch, and I had all the nasty jukes, and I was fast. And I was like, man, I want to make up some moves, man. Let's call it N1 wrestling. And I just started practicing, and I did that move. I call it the misdirection high crotch. And Quint told me that move ain't gonna work on the good guys. And every time he told me something, I combated with him, and I wanted to go out my way to prove him wrong. And he said, show me that move gonna work on the good guys, and I shut up about it. And I went and won state and nationals with it. And from that day forward, I come back to the room, certain kids that had that type of skill set, he would say, Travis, get them on that misdirection high crotch. It overwhelmed me, man. It made me feel like I'd done something good, man. So I was proud of that. And I teach that move to certain kids who got the ability to hit it. Actually, one of my teammates, Mario Morgan, man, if it wasn't for that move, man, I don't know how he would have won nationals in college at Nebraska Omaha. He walked through the tournament with that misdirection high crotch.
Dude, that quarterfinal match, he was losing, and it comes from maybe it was the semis, but comes from the depths, and gets it done. But dude, it's like a super duck, but then you switch the other way, and I was watching that match. I'm like, that is filthy.
It's two outside steps, man, and the outside pivot. It's an outside step, so you bait that one leg, and then once he false step and put his weight to defend that, you can't half do it. You got to fully commit, man. You got to fully commit.
Awesome stuff, man. It was fun watching those matches. Shout out to Duke Burke, listener of the show. But man, it's been an honor to connect with you, Travis. Like I said, I remember your name a lot growing up. You were a couple years older than me, but I don't know if you know the Jamal Lawrences of the world. A lot of people don't remember that name, but he was also nasty. Is he around still?
I will have to. Man, his cousin Jamal Muhammad. I have to ask him what's up with Jamal, man. I haven't heard or I even thought to ask about him in years, man. You're gonna make me go ask about him now.
Gladiator.
That was a tough dude.
And then last one for you. What about Cameron Lloyd? I wrestled him at state my senior year. The Lloyd still around?
They around. I was just at their uncle wedding and I seen those guys, Cartiz, Cameron Lloyd. That's some special athletes, man. That dude Cartiz about 5'5", 5'6". That dude can do a standstill full twist, man. That's a special dude. Special athlete, man. Can flip, man. You would think he went to the Olympics for gymnastics. Cameron, just a physical specimen, man, and just you would think he was sculpted and chiseled out, man. That dude, both them dudes, man, they special dudes. Really, all 4 of the Lloyd brothers. They got 2 brothers, Cardi and Mikey, too. They all athletes, man. They all special.
Is Charles a brother or a cousin?
He the cousin. He their big cousin. He the older cousin.
Legendary. This is the last one for you. I remember these kids, the Moody brothers. Where are they at these days? Jabari?
I believe Jabari actually, I think he wrestled in one of them national tournaments recently in Greco, and I think he did go to the world trials. So I believe he's still competing.
Okay.
Nicosi, I think Nicosi's at home, man, just working.
And we gotta give some love to Albert White, a former Twister, now one of the coaches at the University of Little Rock, Arkansas. One of the greats, and awesome to see that he's carrying on the tradition, man. As are you, Travis Hammons. Thank you so much for your time, sir. I really appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. And more best of luck to you in the future with your podcast, man. Hopefully get bigger and bigger, man.
Thank you.
Blessings to you and your family.
I will, if I see you this season at the Illinois tournaments, I'll come say what's up, man.
Absolutely. You'll see me.
Sounds good, man. Take care. Thanks for listening to this episode of Wrestling Changed My Life. To see video clips from this interview, please go to Instagram at Wrestling Changed My Life. This episode was proudly presented by Spartan Combat. The Spartan Combat Nationals are returning to Jacksonville, Florida, April 8th through the 10th, 2022. Register now at SpartanCombat.com.